California farmers are still sticking with President Donald Trump, even after he nearly drowned them.
Water, big water, ocean water.
According to Politico, farmers and their Republican allies have been brushing off the president's move last week to dump more than 2 billion gallons of their irrigation water from reservoirs in the name of aiding the LA wildfires. Now, of course, the problem there is the water was not going to be used in LA. Okay, so that it basically was just a giant waste of water. Like, congratulations. You have wasted water. Now, Zach Stoller, a farmer with citrus and almond orchards, he irrigates from those reservoirs and president of the Tulare County Farm Bureau in the state's arid Central Valley, said the situation, quote, definitely was a little nerve-wracking for a while. Just for a while, though. You know, because we almost got flooded by Trump. Quote, I'm a farmer. I have a conservative mindset. I encourage the trigger-pulling attitude. Like, hey, let's just get stuff done. Yes, let's get stuff done, everybody. Even though it might be the wrong stuff. Like, hey, I want to get stuff done. Yeah, let's nail my penis to a wall. Hey, I got something done. Right. Sure. Might have harmed more than it helped. Okay. Look, Trump said, though, I'm going to turn on the water. I'm going to turn it on. And so the officials, right before this happened, by the way, officials from Doge, who just showed up, okay, they visited a pumping plant in the state's main water hub earlier that day. Okay, the day that Trump said, I'm gonna open up the water. Big water, ocean water.
Water, big water, ocean water.
But not actually ocean water, but you know what I mean, reservoir water. But following that, on Thursday, the Army Corps of Engineers alerted local water authorities in the Central Valley that it would be cranking releases from 2 of its reservoirs to maximum capacity, a scenario that sparked fears among locals of flooding. Because, that would not be good. Those local officials were not prepared for that. They're like, oh my God, what are you doing? No. Get on the phone. We got to call this guy. They called their Republican congressman and others in Trump's orbit to tell him, do not turn on the water. Don't do it. There was even, or I should say, they were able to talk the White House down from what could have been an even more disastrous waste of water, because there was already water wasted. Okay. Now, of course, those same people were like, well, thank you, Trump, for trying. Talk about low expectations. Okay. Yeah, you almost drowned us. Woo, because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, at least you tried. Let's just get stuff done. Now pull the trigger. Here's Representative Vince Fong, a Republican representative whose district includes the affected farmers. We're excited that we have a president that's engaged in California water policy and maximizing the coordination of the systems. Thank you, Trump, for dumping a bunch of water and almost flooding us all out. Oh, we appreciate it so much. Really? And look, here's the thing, right? He has no idea what he's talking about when it comes to the water systems in California. But yet, during the campaign, he kept going after Gavin Newsom, right? Even back in 2020, right? During a rally in Bakersfield, during the state's last drought, Trump was saying, quote, 50 gallons is very, very little. Can you imagine a state being rationed when you have millions and millions and millions of gallons being poured into the Pacific Ocean? But that didn't actually happen. They weren't doing that. They're not pouring water into the ocean, okay? But anyway, the whole thing of how dare you waste water, Gavin Newsom, and then Trump later on orders the wasting of water. Oops. Now, of course, that's going to have an impact because guess what? It's been a dry winter. Dry winters mean droughts. Okay, that means more fire. That means less water for crops. Less water for crops means higher prices. Because, the yields won't be as good. Now, Greg Meester, the mayor of Potterville, closest town to the Army Corps dams, said he was most concerned that the releases would chip away at the supplies local farmers will end up needing later in the year. Quote, the fear is just because we're heavily dependent on that water during the summer for agriculture, what the impacts may be. I've heard predictions of it not being a very wet winter. Oh, it's not a wet winter, huh? Well, okay, but let me counter with
one of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water.
Yeah, he'll just come in there with a Sharpie and then draw on some snow. Draw on some water, okay? I mean, okay, but look, that's a problem, okay? Now, the other issue, though, the big one, I should say, is the lack of communication, okay? Look, water officials had very little time to react to Trump's announcement and basically ask him not to do it because they didn't need to do that. Again, none of this water went to go and fight the fires in LA. Don Wright, a publisher and consultant who covers the region's agricultural industry, noted that water officials were at a local bowling alley when the news hit. They ended up getting all on their phones and basically trying to prevent Trump from wasting the water and flooding them out. Wright said that water users asked Representatives Jim Costa and Fong, who represent the affected area, as well as former Representative Devin Nunes, and maybe his cow, and the former Interior Secretary David Bernhardt to intercede with Trump to try to explain the situation, to explain the problem with just opening up the water, which you can't do. And of course, the reason they have to do that is because this child knows absolutely nothing. Nothing. Now, thankfully, they were able to convince the White House to pull it back. In fact, it went to about a third of the flow the Army Corps of Engineers had originally planned on doing, and on Sunday, the flow had stopped completely because they didn't need it. Okay? Didn't help contain any fires. And at the end of the day, that water largely ended up being used to recharge the groundwater. So, crisis averted this time. But what about the next time Trump just hauls off and orders something done because it's a good soundbite? This is a problem with Trump getting involved in issues that he knows nothing about. These are local water issues. Yeah, so he can go out and say, "Oh, I turned on the water in California, and it was gushing all over the place, and it was wonderful." But in reality, you actually might have hurt those farmers, or the next time, you definitely will hurt those farmers. You nearly caused a damn flood. And since we're going to be getting into the dry season, all right, because it's already a dry winter, farmers are going to need that money. That water. Well, let's just say that it's not going to turn out well if they start to run out. But gee, I hope the soundbite was worth it. That said, judging by these people's reaction, the reaction of these pro-Trump farmers, I guess it was. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.